Alright, from South Plains Lanes in Lubbock, we're for the Scratch Division title match. Two Lubbock veterans defending their home turf, going at it for the title today. 13-time champ Zach Wojciechowski taking on Daniel Hull. Zach comes out spare double. Daniel's got spare strike through two, so he can even up this match. If he can find a way to strike here in the third. Bowling on the Billy Hardwick pattern, 44 feet. Same length as yesterday, but entirely different shape, much flatter. Yesterday was just stand left, throw right, and have fun. Today you're definitely hitting a confined zone. It is pretty far to the right. It was a really interesting pattern. You know, you hear that rule of 31, and on a 44 feet pattern, you'd think the break point's around 11. For the most part, it has been right of that and further right. Earlier today, when there's a little bit less breakdown, bowlers started to score better the more they migrated their break point to the right. Davis was out around 1-2. Toby Sidibaka was out around 1-2 and fired the event's only 300 game, their weekend's only 300 game. Abilene starting to break down a bit, so they're not getting it quite as far right. But still, Hull's looking right around the 5 board, and you can see that that was a big old tug job to the left, and it doesn't matter as he gets to Brooklyn to match Wojo's earlier Brooklyn. In match play, you don't care where they are as long as they fall down. That's spare 3 in a row, and as a result, a 10-pin lead. Zach's been doing this a long time. He just makes cameo appearances these days as A, Lubbock is far away from most of what we do, and B, he's allowed to bowl adult and youth stuff as long as you don't get a PBA card. If you're 21 and under, you can come on out and bowl with us. I wonder if he's thinking about getting a card once this season is over. Got the talent. He sees he's still around 3-4 for a break point. Decent shot. A lot of 2-8s, 2-8-10s, 2-4-10s. That's the kind of leaves you flirt with when you're playing that far right edge, but you can also get fantastic carry if you do get zoned in from there. Tough spare is you get friction in the middle today, and he's able to cover that.
And he has less distance than Derek Henry. Part of my language.
Mama Ruizamena is expressing her concerns about fantasy over there.
Yes. Don't like their rules on quarterbacks.
Zach, a nice basic game. Can play any arrow in the lane. Good at repeating shots when he finds it, but unfortunately repeats the shot from the last frame and this time gets no love with the 210 standing. Let's see if he can excite this capacity crowd with the big split conversion here. Of course, we don't want a capacity crowd these days unless they can stay a couple feet away from each other. That's going to be pretty close. Oh, that was pretty close, but not quite enough. Gives them 95 through 5 and a big opportunity for the floppiest of all the Penguins, who I guarantee you is excited to get some JBT camera time. This guy, we're honored to say, loves our tour. His license plate, it's got Nebraska plates that say Bowl JBT. I couldn't be happier, and I get a $10 commission off of that. So, from the state of Nebraska, I'll be awaiting my check. Also, a nice, basic, compact game, similar game to Wojo. Works hard on it and makes it 4 in a row early. In addition to an all Lubbock title match, Daniel and Ottawa Brave. They seem to get a lot of our bowlers. If only Ottawa was closer to JBT territory, they wouldn't lose these bowlers. A little lower backswing and just a little lower rev rate, but he's not trying to hit the heck out of the ball right now. He's trying to kind of just roll that ball through the heads, not using a ball that changes direction very much on the back end either. I like that move. Keep it in play, but you can't set it down early or miss left. That's just hope and pray time when that happens. Last time he got a Brooklyn strike out of it. This time lucky to avoid the split and leave a relatively simple 6-10, which he makes nicely. That little tiny backup ball. And it looks good. Big 33 pin early lead. I'm telling you, even though it was 2-8, even though it was 2-8, 2-10, that's close. He's not that far from getting locked in here. See if he can make a match out of this. Get that 4-pin. Now that's when it starts to get frustrating, when you do adjust off a 2-pin and then you end up 4-pinning. Then you feel like the pocket has suddenly become a quarter board wide instead of all over the place. Wojo's body language reflects that a little bit here. A quick, frustrated effort at that 4-pin. Alright, needs 10 here, further right, and caught all of that one. Pretty shot. Slaps that 10-pin silly. You still got room for plenty of numbers here. 235, Hall pacing 228 at the moment. Oh, they went for 2 to win instead of playing for the tie. Look at that. And they didn't get it. Well, might as well if you're 1 and 5. Oh! Potential game changer here. I feel like that was one of those cases where he actually threw it better, caught a little bit more of it, and got a different ball reaction as a result. He gets absolutely no love in the big 4. Yeesh. And the count is 5-4. He's trailing in it. I think it's very important that he gets this 2 here. Not throw away pins, which may seem unimportant now, but could certainly come back later. And we're down to a 17-pin lead. All right, put that out of your head. It really wasn't that bad. Just really want to make sure you're clearing the heads clean here. Better shot. And trickles that 7-pin over. And he did exactly what I said, focused on projecting it down the lane. Didn't get it as far right, but didn't have to in that case because he got it clean through that first 30 feet. Zach also trying to stay really behind the ball. He's very good at that. The further right and the further straight you want to be, the more up the back behind the ball you want to release. If you're trying to create angle and left to right, that's when you want to increase your tilt and come around the ball. It doesn't want that. The friction on the back end will do the change of direction for him. And he gets lucky again. Late timing, that ball came all the way around that ball, and yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Who needs words when you get that reaction out of the bowler? Nonetheless, that was a crucial double, and we were down to a 7-pin game, and he's got a shot at the lead if he can strike here in the 9th. Better shot. Oh, the late trip out of that 7. Throws it terrible in the 8th, throws it great in the 9th. He's still a little confuddled as to how this actually happened, but he's got himself a lead. But he cannot shut out Hall no matter what he does. And if Hall strikes in the 9th, 10th, and 11th, it's over. Anything less than that, Wojo will either have a chance to win on his hands or win on the bench. Time for the Brave to be just that right here, 9th frame. He's lost that lane. Big 4 last time. Nosedive this time on what I think he thought was an okay shot. Well, the good news is he doesn't have to figure out that lane again, barring a tie. Assuming the spare when he moves over to 7, he struck him the last time on that lane. Previously, spare, strike, strike. So he's got a good look on 7. First things first, don't blow that spare. Nicely done. 222 with 3 in the 10th for Daniel. That would force strike 8 spare out of Wojo. So really, who's going to perform in the 10th? It's how we like it. Sunday afternoon in Lubbock. Daniel taking a re-rack, get some extra time to collect himself. If you don't like this video, I'm sure you're going to get Daniel's version of this all over Facebook for the next 2.5 months. So, sorry about that. High again. Just couldn't get that ball to push through the heads in the last 4 shots. 3 of the last 4. Now he must spare this. Strike out for 209. And that only forces a mark and count from Wojo, who is still, he has not moved from that position. Blaine and Skylar not doing a good job of calming him. First things first, tricky 369, and doesn't get the back pin out, and just a disastrous back 4 frames, and he might be walking to Kansas right now. Wait, whoop, hello, son. Is your arm better yet? Nope. Of course, I thought he was the top seed, and he literally dead-armed the last couple of frames. Just pins will do it all of a sudden for Wojo. Why not? As yes, slap it out, fist it out lefty. Well, both he and Daniel caught fortunate Brooklyns early in the match, but it was Zach who finished stronger. And will come away with the title here in his hometown. We'll always wonder how many titles Zach would have had if he lived in, say, Phoenix or some more central location for what we did. And that might as well fall as well. What are you doing, Boo? No, just leave the 9 up. That's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous. No, you don't. Nope.
Are you gonna put it?
You gotta.
There you go.
There you go.
Not a kid.
Oh dear.
Gonna do something right.
Let's see what marginal shot gets them all down now.
How many lefties do we have in the tournament?
A couple. One wearing a blue polo shirt and gray slacks. Oh, here we go. Carey did not wheel for a 231 finale and a yet another title. Great job by 2 of the best Lubbock has to offer, and somehow, some way, not a pretty match, but a victorious match.
I need some pills.
That's how they come sometimes.
Shout out to Brian Rickard for the results solid. Thanks, Coach.
Shout out to whoever makes your shirt.
Yes, that's you.
There, thank you, better. There you go.